What's up guys, thanks for joining me here at Planet Destiny. I'm Paper, cut to you, and today we're going to be taking a closer look at the Defender Titan. So what are we going to be testing mainly in this video? It's going to be the backup plans, because that's going to be the core of your build. It's going to be the armor piece that really makes a difference. Now the reason these gloves are so important to this build is because it allows you to get your force barrier up by just getting a shotgun kill. Anybody who's familiar with the Titan class knows that they have one of the worst melees because of how short the reach is. Now the Defender Titan even has another roadblock to its melee, and that's that it does very little damage. There's actually no difference between hitting somebody with a full melee charge versus hitting somebody with no charge. So usually classes, even within this sub-class of strikers, will do a ridiculous amount of damage if they have a melee charge. With the Defender, you don't get any kind of bonus damage. What you do get, however, is your overshield and then whatever other perk you happen to choose within that tree. So let's start talking about the perks that you want to be running if you want to get the most out of this class when we're using a build like this. The grenades and the super are going to be covered in a separate video, so we're not going to concern with ourselves too much right now. However, these are things that we're going to build on from this video and transfer it over to the next. What is important for here is for you to take Unbreakable instead of War Machine or any of the other perks in that tree. You also want to run Max Armor and take on Relentless, because that's really what adds the beefiness to this overshield, and it's really going to make a difference. We are going to get into the testing right now, and then we're going to put that into practice, because after getting a little bit of theory, you're going to be able to get a better idea of what you can pull off in the actual game when you're in the Crucible. So what you guys are going to be seeing on the background is some of your favorite weapons. I'm going to grab some pulse rifles, some hand cannons, and you guys are going to be able to count the shots. But if you just want me to summarize it for you quickly, what you're going to be seeing is a difference of about 2 body shots or 2 head shots, sometimes all the way up to 4 additional shots, especially when you're going at the body. But for the most part, what you're going to be seeing is a difference of about 2 to 4 shots. Now for hand cannons, you're typically going to see a kill with 3 bullets to the head. You're going to see here that we're going to be taking a lot more than that. Usually a kill with Luck in the Chamber, 2 headshots. With this, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you can see different weapons are going to have different variances, but the main thing that you want to get away from this is that primary fire is actually tickling you. And when you're looking at the special weapons like shotguns and snipers, it's also going to gimp them. If you're going up against a shotgun, not even a headshot full on is going to kill you when you have this on. A high impact sniper also cannot kill you when getting a headshot. When you're using something more like an LDR, a more standard rifle, you're also looking at a headshot plus another body shot if you want to kill somebody. So you're looking at a minimum of 2 shots. Low impact snipers, you're looking at about 3 to 4 shots. Now, as strong as this overshield is, you're not going to be living through most of the heavy weapons, except for the sword slice. Now, here's something interesting that I know was really messing with people. When you put on Memory of Fellwinters, it does not give you 2 overshields. Even if you get rid of one, if you try shotgunning again, you won't get a second one. It only procs when you have both charges. Now, you have to remember that you do not lose a charge for just meleeing a guy normally, even if it's full. It only consumes a charge when it's going to give you an overshield. Now the overshield is available every 25 seconds if you're running your strength at tier 5. Now here's where the conundrum is. If it only takes 25 seconds to charge your melee, and it also takes 25 seconds for it to wear off, why even use Memory of Fellwinters? And this is a tough question to answer because the bubble is super strong. However, having 2 melees available, that can possibly mean 2 overshields if you play your cards right, which means you're going to shotgun the first and melee the second, well then you're going to get a lot of invincibility time, because you're practically invincible when you have this overshield. You're going to be surviving some amazing things. So where is the Memory of Fellwinters really lie? Where is its strengths? It's actually in Trials, and we're going to go over that in a separate video. But let me just quickly say, the reason that it's actually stronger there is because after you use your super, it makes more sense to take it off, considering that it's one of the faster supers to charge. Put on Memory of Fellwinters, and now you have 2 suppression grenades that we can use to go against their supers. So that's where I find that those strengths are, and those are the things that we're going to talk again in a separate video. Now that we've gone over the theory, let me show you guys some of the practical. I'm just going to show you guys some clips where in-game we're going to be surviving some things because we have the no backup plans. So while that's going on, let me give you guys some advice. When you have your overshield up, it actually blocks your health. So if you've taken some shots and then activated it, you're not actually going to have full health. So you usually want to take a moment, depending on how hurt you were, if you happen to get a glance at your health, and give it time to actually recharge. You can also see Relentless going to work here by recharging my overshield so I don't die to that shot by the tank. Here we're going to survive a headshot, so that's always a good feeling. And while we're talking about special weapons, let me also give you some other advice. Usually, if you have the option, challenge people to a primary fight, which means you want to get into that medium distance. You don't want to go up against shotguns because there is still a possibility that they can shotgun melee you. You can also lose a lot of health by taking a headshot. You can see I was very hurt. He could have easily finished me off with his primary. However, if you get people into the scenario where they're going to fight you one-on-one, that's not his bubble, not his team's. If you get them into a scenario where they have to fight you with your primary, you're almost always going to come out ahead with a no backup plan, just because of the fact that you're going to get 2 to 4 shots extra to kill you that they're not going to be aware of. The duration of 25 seconds on the overshield also makes it so you can take your time setting up these engagements. Don't be too hasty. 25 seconds is a very long time. And that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave some feedback. Thanks for joining us at Planet Destiny. You can also check out my channel, Game and Review. A lot of different things going on there right now. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.